what are some of the best practices that you share and guide your clients with to make sure that we eliminate some of this unpredictability when it comes to your submission?
Yeah, and I actually just recently did a post sort of on this. You want to be careful. It used to be a reasonable strategy for some companies to just data dump. And so it's very then hard for a human reviewer to go through everything, and you basically can just bury FDA in data. It used to sometimes work, sometimes backfire, but I would say in the current environment, it's going to always backfire because they're just going to drop all of this into an AI tool that's going to assess all of that information, and then they're going to find every little thing wrong with it and flag this for you. I definitely see a lot of deficiencies that have spelling errors and issues that probably weren't AI generated. So there's still a lot of human review happening, and it's kind of clunky. I think we're seeing a little bit of a growing pain happen at FDA where lead reviewers are navigating how they think about incorporating all of this into a deficiency letter to a company. Because I see a lot of letters that come now that they have multiple deficiencies that are basically the same thing. And it's like, I would have, as a lead reviewer, merged those into one deficiency. And I'm seeing a lot of lead reviewers today not bother to take the time to do it. So that it tells you that they're somewhat more time constrained maybe than they should be in being able to do a reasonable review. I expect some of that to get better as some of these AI tools improve as well. But basically, FDA is the beneficiary asymmetrically of a lot of the AI advancement. Because if you're going to use the tool to review information, draft a memo, finalize it, you'll do the human finalization of a memo and then do an AI like final analysis of the letter just to catch anything and do some updates. That can, if used appropriately, can maximize the efficiency of FDA's review of a lot of regulatory submissions. But you don't get those same benefits on the company side of things. You get a little bit of that, but you still got to do all the data generation. You still got to put, you get very little overall benefit in terms of the amount of labor that you put into getting a submission together and all of the underlying work that happens. Most of that is still there. But FDA gets this asymmetric benefit of a lot of these AI tool advancements. So I would say being really careful about how much you put into a submission and utilizing some of these programs that FDA rolled out, like ASCA, compliant, labs, especially for biocompatibility and sort of electrical or other kinds of testing that gets rolled into this. Use that wherever possible, because the less information you can give FDA, the better you're going to, be as a submitter. Because if there's less for them to review, there's less they can give you a deficiency on. If you give them the full test reports, there's just going to always be something that I shouldn't say always, but there's going to be a lot more surface area for them to attack. And that's just, not going to serve you.